I'm Dale Smith for Looney Politics, and obviously the big issue for 2024 is going to be housing. Now, this is something that the government finally woke up to this last year as an actual crisis, although as much as Pierre Poilievre would like to say, this is not solely on their shoulders. This has been something that's building for decades. And if we really want to get technical about it, the price of housing did virtually double under the 9 years that Harper was in charge. So their hands aren't clean on this one either. Now, going into the next year, all four parties have somewhat varying positions on what the solutions should be. Now, for the Bloc, they seem to vacillate between saying the federal government needs to build more housing, at the same time saying no, they should butt out and just give Quebec more money so that they can build their own housing there. And the NDP has an actual good idea in terms of an acquisition fund for low-income buildings, which the federal government could potentially leverage funds from something like the Infrastructure Bank to use. Well, at the same time, they also have a focus on affordable housing that is merely using the word affordability without necessarily understanding what makes things affordable, and also not understanding the role that market priced housing also plays in the system and why that can't be ignored either. As for the Conservatives, we have Pierre Poilievre and his Common Sense plan, which he has had his 15-minute disinformation documentary about. And a lot of his plan revolves around trying to punish municipalities who don't meet certain particular targets. But at the same time, a lot of his ideas for how to go about doing that actually can't operate in reality because of the way in which the funding mechanisms that he plans to use are structured. So a lot of it is just bluster, and not enough people have actually called him out as to the fact that it's just bluster. As for the government, they've given hints that there will be a renewed housing plan in 2024, which will involve some kind of an industrial strategy. Now, that could mean things like manufacturing modular components for houses that could be used in the Book of Common Designs that they have started working on, and possibly also including some kind of a labor element in there as well, because that's a big part of the slowdown in housing starts is just a shortage of labor. So these are things that we are going to be looking at in 2024, and I'm sure that a lot of this will start to become clear by the time the budget rolls out in late spring. For Looney Politics, I'm Dale Smith.